I learned about this guy, Dan Wootton, from following Depp and Heard, and you probably know Dan wrote not such nice things about Johnny in The Sun. False allegations, as a matter of fact, and now it turns out Dan's got allegations against him. The thing is, unfortunately for Dan, these don't seem untrue. We can't quite say yet, but there's a lot of details here and a lot of receipts. So this here is from part 8 of the Byline Times. It's about the celebrities who were kind of confirming what they were saying about Dan and adding their own details. Now, what I want to do here is put a face to these names. I haven't seen other videos on this, maybe some other people have, but in case you haven't seen yet, I figured it'd be nice to put a face. So here, the Byline Times, from part 8 of their investigation that they released, mentions the names. I don't have a picture of the X Factor singer because they want to stay anonymous, but this person, Kirk Norcross and JJ Bird, we'll take a look at. Here's JJ Bird from Big Brother. It's a TV show, kind of reality show, people living together, things like that. I can't personally confirm this is a good looking guy, but if I had to take a guess, yeah, he's not bad. Maybe some ladies down in the comments could let me know. And here's Kirk Norcross from The Only Way is Essex. Once again, I'm gonna guess without knowing for sure, because I am who I am, he's probably a good looking guy. And, compared to Dan, who's I guess kind of normalish looking, he'd probably want people like this for his photo shoots. Now, let's see the quotes. Now, here's what JJ Bird said. He told Byline Times, Dan told me he was an amateur photographer and he was working with underwear brands. All right, that's obviously a lie right there. He invited me to test shoot at his flat with a fee attached. At that time, I was trying to fund my boxing career and develop my career in entertainment. Dan was a big name in the world of showbiz journalism who had the power to do that, plus anything where I was going to receive payment would obviously have been very useful. Once again, Dan using his position, which was higher up, to get somebody to easily do something that he wanted. Looking back now, it was a complete abuse of his power and position, and he should not have been offering to do that kind of thing. Mr. Bird said Wooten contacted him first on Facebook, claiming there's one person who I'm working for at the moment who's really keen to get work for you. In messages, Wooten changed it to 2 people I'm working with, adding it's just a test shoot, so low key. Not for publication, will still pay obviously. Just you in various sportswear, swimwear, underwear, which I'll run by the man I'm working for before he decides how to do a full shoot, which could be for publication. Just to be certain, could you text or email me a quick shot of you shirtless now? But I'm pretty sure we'll want to go ahead now because we don't necessarily need you mega ripped anyway. Because, allegedly, if it's just for Dan, he doesn't actually need anything for a publication that fits standards or anything. He just wants to see the guy. Allegedly. I still gotta keep saying that. Dan invited me to do a test shoot for some underwear brand for £1,000. I went along thinking it was a semi-pro shoot and might help my career because Dan was, at the time, on ITV's Lorraine show and working for the biggest papers. The studio was just his front room. It really felt awkward, especially as he was so well known. There was nobody else there, just us. There was no backdrop or anything like that, which kind of is consistent with the news that came out that Dan's studio's not so big and fancy for a guy on his level. So it would make sense Dan might be lazy with the backdrops and stuff. Despite Dan telling me it was just a shoot for these brands, he gave me normal boxer shorts to wear and I changed into them in his bedroom. Right, because it wasn't actually a shoot for these big companies, it was just allegedly for Dan. I thought it was all strange but rolled with it. He was so influential, I didn't want to offend him somehow. Then, the stuff he was asking me to wear became more and more revealing and alarm bells started to ring. I have some crackers, but I'm out of popcorn. If I had it, I'd be eating it right now. He brought out latex stuff, which I refused to wear. He also asked me to pose in my birthday suit, but I refused to do that. That's weird. So hey, do these shoots for these brands and things, just shirtless. Now latex. Now nothing. Yeah, that's normal. The whole situation was weird and not what I was expecting. Dan refused to pay me the full fee we'd agreed because I wouldn't go in my birthday suit. It creeped me out. So now not only is he doing this stuff, allegedly, he's changing the promised conditions. And now, let's see about this guy, Kirk Norcross. I actually covered this first part here in a previous video where Dan actually asked Kirk Norcross for some money for legal fees. As we know, Dan's asking everyone publicly, so I gotta say, once again, that makes sense. And they include a text message that was from Dan to this person. I gotta assume this person, Kirk, gave it to Byline Times. I also gotta assume that he's not really a big fan of Dan. And the text read, "Hey man, thank you so much for that. No, you just said then redouble rent. Didn't want to ask you while still here in case you were not interested. But could I potentially get you for some type of extra now? Have 1,000 budget, so very good money. 2 V's spaced out, good money. I guess that just means good money. Maybe it's a British term. Let me know before you go too far. Thanks." All right. So apparently the guy was probably around where Dan was physically, and Dan was trying to ask him, allegedly, to do a photo shoot, probably like he did with Mr. Bird, while this person was still in town. So now that you can actually see these people, what they look like, maybe it helps a bit more to understand that they might not be the people that Dan could automatically date. That's it for now. Let me know what you think in the comments. Shout out to Cindy Bryden, Laura B, still sending me articles all the time. And if you're not subscribed here, consider it. If you don't, I'll be sad, but I'll get over it. See you next time.